2023 and you're still going to be sitting with the ABD status, if you know that 2024 is your year, but you're not sure how to overcome the fear of finishing, then this episode is for you. On this episode from ABD to PhD show, I'm going to share how to overcome the fear of not finishing. I know something for certain that at this time of year, many doctoral students are looking around because you see your classmates have successfully defended, they're graduating, seeing all the regalia, and you're just sitting back wondering, well, when is my turn and when can I do it and how am I going to do it? But sometimes it's the mindset and mental component that we have about this process that can sometimes hold us back from finishing. And so what I want to share with you today is about how to overcome the fear of finishing on this episode. And as always, this episode from ABD to PhD show is sponsored by the Done Dissertation Velocity Group Coaching Program. It is a coaching experience with the goal to help you write and defend your dissertation over the course of the next year. So if you're interested in learning more about how to work with us, you can scan the QR code that you see here directly on the page, or you can visit www.velocitydissertation.com. And if you're someone who's watching this live, if you can, just drop the link in the chat for folks. Again, it's www.velocitydissertation.com to learn more about our program, and you can click on one of the Apply Now buttons to work with us directly. And we are so looking forward to helping you all get through this process and know that with some support, with some guidance, that you all can do all the things that you want to do with the dissertation. And so on today's episode, I want to talk about how to overcome the fear of not finishing. And so first things first, if you want to overcome the fear of not finishing, you have to have a plan that you will execute. Because what I've come to learn is that in order to eliminate the fear of this process, right, because it's something that you don't know, having a plan is really important in order to finish the process. And when I say a plan, it's not always having everything outlined, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know and things will happen, but to have somewhat of a roadmap to really know what are the steps ahead. And this is one of the advantages that a lot of our clients have when they come to work with us, because our job as your coach is to really lay out the roadmap for you about what the journey can look like, and helping kind of refine that roadmap to basically what you're going through as a doctoral student. And so when you are thinking about this process, sometimes we have this fear of not finishing because we don't have a plan to execute. And this is why we created a training called Design Your Done Dissertation to help with that initial part of, designing and thinking through that process. And if you go to our website and you click on the books and courses at www.thedonedissertation.com, you can learn more about our Design Your Done Dissertation training, because we know that sometimes you just need that roadmap, you need that structure. And that's what we created with Design Your Done Dissertation as a way to help you think through getting that support to finishing up. And if you want more and learn more about that, you can scan the QR code here about that particular training. Because again, when you're thinking about fear in this process, it's just sometimes the fear of the unknown. And you're trying to think about all the things, but that can be overwhelming as you've gone through the process. And we hear a lot of our clients talking about that, and how just having a roadmap and sometimes having a plan in place is the first piece to think through. At the end of the time of this recording, we are actually having our last coaching call of the year. And so on our Velocity coaching call, what we were talking about is putting the plan in place to take advantage of this kind of quick winter break, these 2 weeks of the holidays, right? You just had Christmas, but now coming up on New Year, like New Year's, how do you take advantage of this little bit of time that many of us might have in our schedules in order to move forward in the process? And again, it's sometimes having a plan, and then not only having a plan, but when our folks come to office hours, they're able to bring their plan, and then we help refine it with them so they get the support that they might need to tweak some things in their plan. Because sometimes you all might take on too much that you're trying to do within a short amount of time. And what we help you do is kind of refine that plan. And so if you're interested in learning more again about Design Your Done Dissertation, you can click here. But if you're looking for more hands-on support to getting your dissertation done and actually having someone walk with you step by step through this process, then I would invite you to apply to our Velocity coaching program. And you can scan the QR code here to learn more about this. But we just know that it's that time of year, end of year, you're reevaluating things. And so sometimes we got to consider, is this the right time? And am I willing to put a plan in place that I can execute in order to overcome the fear? And in particular, we help you with the planning part. You have to do the execution, because that is one thing that at Done Dissertation we cannot do for you. You are indeed responsible for the writing and the work that you had that has to get done. Because myself, Dr. Varela, any of our other coaches that will look at your work, we don't have the time to write a dissertation, but we will certainly coach you through how to write yours and how to think through the writing and give you feedback. And so that's one of the great things that we'll be able to do with you in our program. And so with that said, I want to jump to the second component of how to overcome the fear of not finishing in 2024. Because what I have started to understand is that you have to become comfortable with not knowing everything. And again, the second point is that you have to become comfortable without knowing everything. Here's why. Oftentimes I talk with doctoral students, when I ask about why they are stuck, sometimes it's because you feel like you don't know all the answers. So it's intimidating when a professor will say, hey, write your proposal and send it to me, then I'll have feedback for you. For a number of you all, that might cause some type of internal, like, oh my God, what do I do? And it goes into a sense of panic. If you're someone like that, let me know in the comments, because it's not uncommon, right? So just don't think about it like, oh, that's just your journey. Many people have that feeling, especially when you're in a case when you're not getting much feedback and the time and interaction that you have with your professor is limited. And so in your chair in particular is limited. So I understand that. But now we have to consider, what are you going to do? Because you can't sit in that space of being fearful of not knowing everything. It's just not productive for you, because it can actually hold you back from finishing. And here's something I want you to understand about this process. And I think this will free you up in terms of freeing your mind in terms of finishing the dissertation. You will never know everything. And I will repeat that again. You will never know everything. So there's no point of being stuck on like, oh my God, I don't have it all together. I don't have it all, I don't have it all going. Like, that's something that in my book, 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation, we talk about in one of the chapters about mastering what we call the 80% rule. And what the 80% rule suggests is that, you do the work to 80% satisfactory, and then you let your chair and committee help you push it the rest of the way. Because it's really difficult for you to try to do all that mental work to get it 100%. Because at the end of the day, faculty will always have something to say about your work. So there's no need to get it perfect, because that is no longer your goal anymore. And I promise you, the sooner you adopt this, the better off you will be. And because what will happen is that, what's happening when you are trying to think through everything and trying to feel like, oh my God, I need to know everything. What ends up happening is that you don't ask the questions that will free your mind up. And I want to give an example from my own experience, right? I had an advisee of my own. We were just talking about this a couple of weeks ago. They were working on their chapter, and they had a question about something they were working on. And our meeting wasn't for another week. And literally, instead of sending me the email to ask what the question was, they stewed on that particular thought for a week until they got into the call. And it stopped them from doing any progress with their dissertation. And then when we got on our call to talk through what was happening, they then asked the question. And literally, my answer was in 15 seconds. And they were like, oh my God, that's it? I was like, yeah, that's it. You didn't have to really think through this much. You're actually in the right direction. And they recognized and said, oh my God, Dr. Goins, why did I spend so much time, almost a week, stewing over that one question that wasn't really that major? And what I've come to learn is that if you're falling in that category, it's not uncommon. It's just part of what happens. But you have to let go of that and just recognize you're not going to know everything. So when you don't know everything, then you start to ask questions. So one of the things I love about our Velocity program is that we always want to be an environment where we tell our clients, please ask whatever question that you need to ask, no matter how small, because it's the smallest questions I've come to learn that are ones that will hold us up the most. And so these are something that we've embedded into our culture in our coaching calls, because there's nothing worse than being in a doctoral program where you feel like you can't ask your professor questions. And in particular, you feel like you can't ask questions because they might look down on you. And then you might feel like, oh my God, the fellow colleagues might be like, oh my God, I don't really know anything, or I'm not asking the right questions. Like, look, our environment is set up in a way that we want you all to always feel free to ask those questions that you would never feel free, to ask in maybe in your university setting. Because I know particularly for scholars of color, we kind of get beat down in a lot of these doctoral programs. So if that's your experience, we have provided a community in our Velocity program that is contrary to that. It's a place that's welcoming, open for you to ask your questions to get clarity. This is one of the things that we specialize in and really help our clients really do when they're working through their process. And so if you're interested in learning more about what we do in our Velocity program, you can scan the QR code that is here on your screen, or also you can go to the link at www.velocitydissertation.com. And if you're someone just joining on live, you can just drop the link in the comments. That'd be great. And if you're someone who's watching this on a replay and you don't see the link put there, if you just drop a comment in, if you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever, just drop the link for the comments in, just so folks can get the insight that they might need and learn more about the program if they should choose to do so. And then what I want us to consider, right, when we're thinking about how to overcome fear of not finishing in 2024, is that I want you to really be mindful of or actually I should say this differently, just don't let the time pass. Get support now, because there is no need that you are sitting on the sidelines, because you all are spending way too much money and way too much time, which is most important. Milestones are passing. Some of y'all trying to beat your kids from graduating undergrad. Like, we got a number of clients that are trying to do that. Like, look, I got to finish before my child finishes high school, before they finish college, whatever that goal marker is, right? And so you have to consider that. And one of the things I want you to think about is, don't sit around when you can get help, because it's really hurtful to watch you all. We hear people over and over again who have sat for years. Like, I've had clients as recent who've sat for 2 years being stuck, and then they came in and worked with us, and next thing you know, they finished their proposal in 3.5 months. Literally, making a decision to do something different can change your life. And for many of us, we just have to be mindful, am I willing to make that decision? But it takes for you to not being comfortable with staying stuck. Because for many of y'all, you've been comfortable with saying, oh, I'm going to finish that later. And later has turned into 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you're still at the same point. And for many of us, we have the guilt of not finishing too, right? And so just because time has passed and you might feel that guilt, get help. Get the support, whether it's from us at Done Dissertation, someone else, whether you need a therapist, whether you need a babysitter, whatever that help looks like, get it so that you can finish, because there is so much impactful work that you're going to do with your dissertation that I want you all to get out there and do what you need to do. And I want to see you all win. That's what we tell our clients. We want to see y'all win. On the last episode, you saw we talked about all the clients we've helped to get through the process. Like, we want to help people and see people win. You all are our greatest asset. Like, we want doctoral students to win. And we know that a number of you all have won just from these lives alone, not even working with us, but implementing some of the strategies and mindset shifts that you needed to finish your dissertation. And this is why we got to see you all win. And with that, right, when we talk about the fear of not knowing and overcoming that fear in order to finish in 2024, before I wrap up today's episode, I do want to give you all some context about what we've been able to do this year at Done Dissertation to kind of give you a year-end wrap-up of 2023, because I think it's important you can see the scope of how we've helped doctoral students through a number of different ways. And so I definitely want to share this with you all in terms of how we help you all get done in this process. And so with that, let me put my screen in. Let me pull you all up here. And what you will see is our Done Dissertation year in review for 2023. And it's a remarkable about some of the things that we've been able to do. So here goes some of the things that we've been able to do with our clients this year. So just to give you all a scope, in 2023, at the time of this recording, or a couple of days before the end of the year, we've had 17 students successfully earn their doctorate. Y'all, that's actually more than a lot of doctoral programs are producing in a year, to be quite honest with you. And so we know this process. We know this process very well, and we get people in and out of the journey. And then in addition to the 17, we also have 20 students who have successfully defended their proposals and currently are in data collection or just have wrapped up and have finished their dissertation by working with us. And so we help people not only get through their whole dissertation, earn their doctorate, getting to the final components, but also finishing up their proposal defense. And so in order to do that, we've had 46 coaching calls with our clients. So we meet just about every week. We've reviewed over 53 dissertation chapters. And so if you can imagine how much that is, we looked at over 1,000 pages of dissertation writing from our clients and giving feedback on all of these chapters. So shout out to my other coach, Dr. Varela, who's been a key component in that feedback and supporting our clients to get done. But this is what we've been able to do. And then in our program, we also do host a writing group every day. And so over the course of the year, our folks have engaged in 180 hours of writing by writing hours that we have hosted at Done Dissertation ourselves for our clients. And so, again, we've been doing a lot of work with our folks to get through. And so not only for our clients, right, but just to give you all a perspective of what's going on too, we've talked to over 60 doctoral students to help them, think through this process and if the Done Dissertation Velocity program is right for them. And so it's been great to see and talk to a lot of folks in all areas. So we work with people in mechanical engineering, the civil engineering, from folks in the School of Medicine who are doing work on various aspects of medicine, to sociology, to communication, to education, and with education, higher education, K through 12, teacher education, curriculum and development. There've been so many areas. We've worked with nursing. We've worked with so many students and be able to learn so much about this through our complimentary consultations. And then also by doing this show, it's been 160 plus hours of content related to the dissertation process that you all have access to for free on our YouTube channel. Like, we've been trying to put out this information to help you all finish, because we know we're not going to be able to work with everyone, but our content has been able to reach you all and reach the masses. We had over 1,000 social media posts. And then also we do send affirmation texts, and we sent over 4,000 to folks that are in our text message community. So if you've been involved in those have been helpful for you. Like, we're going to continue to send those, because we just know everybody needs that little pep just to move through the week. And we send those once a week to you all to help give you the guidance and just give you the strategy and insight to get through. And so if you've gotten those, I just want to say thank you for being part of our text message community. And then lastly, we've been able to host over 20 dissertation-related workshops this year. I'm also going into classrooms. And so I've gone into over 10 classrooms to talk with folks about the dissertation process. And so if you're someone who's interested in this, me coming to your class or your university, please feel free to reach out. We can work something out where I come to your university to talk with all of your doctoral students. And then in addition, we also have sold copies of our book, 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation. This year alone, I sold over 500 copies of this book, sold through out the world at this point. We have folks buying from Germany to Brazil to the United States, to the UK. It's been amazing, the reach of this book and how we've been able to support folks through the book sales. And then also, what's more importantly, we've been doing some outreach in terms of just different free webinars and workshops that we know are important to doctoral students. In February 2023, we hosted one on mental health, where we had clinicians who actually, two have earned their doctorate, and one actually was my mom, who's a clinician and works with veterans, and a lot of folks who are actually working on a dissertation somehow. There was a synergy there. And we talked about the mental health component of, like, how do you get through this process and preserve your mental health as a result. And then also we hosted in July we called it our summer school series, where we just provided insight on different aspects of the dissertation, because we know during the summer, sometimes as doc students, you don't have access to your professors. So that was something we did for folks in our community and folks who are on our email list or our text message community. So if you're not involved with us yet, you need to go ahead and get involved with us and get the support that you need to finish. And I want to show this because the team, right? It's not just me doing this. I want to say thank you from our team, right? It's myself, my wife, Renee Goings, Carrie Henderson, who's our director of marketing, and Dr. Patricia Varela, who's a coach in Velocity. We are the ones who have been supporting you all through the course of this year. And we just want to look forward to helping more folks finish their dissertations and defend in 2024. And so if you are someone that's looking for that, we want to help you get through this process. Because we know one thing for certain is, like, we know 2024 is going to be your year, right? And while I know everyone won't work with us, I know that you are watching this episode right now because you have done some reflecting over this past year. And you know deep inside that you want to finish this degree because it's important about what you're studying. You know you want to finish this degree because you have something to contribute to the field. You know you want to finish this degree because you have participants whose stories that you want to tell and whose insights that you know will make a difference. And you want to finish this degree because you want to make yourself proud and make your family proud. And I know for certain that many of us want, and you want to finish this degree in particular because you want to get that promotion and get to the bag at work. And you want to finish this degree because you are the type of person that when you start something, you end it and you complete it successfully. And so if you've been finding that the dissertation has been that roadblock for you and you haven't been able to get to where you want to go, then I would invite you to work with us in our Velocity program and get the help that you need to finish. We want to help folks. I want to double that number in 2024. And we have some university partnerships rolling out. And so if you're, a doc student and you want us to, if you make a liaison to your university, we have some insights and some great things for you as well, as a way to get your support that you need to finish the process. And so we want to work with more people. Our goal is to help over 1,000 doctoral students finish, right? And so you're a part of that. And so if you find that you need that support, you want to get done, and you know you have something to offer, but you just haven't been able to put it all together quite yet in a streamlined way, I would invite you to apply to work with us. You can scan the QR code that's right there on the screen to learn more about it, or you can go to www.velocitydissertation.com. And again, it's www.velocitydissertation.com. And we want to see you all win in 2024. And there's no need that you are being stuck in this process. So go get the help that you need. Come work with us. We're going to be showing you more and more about our clients and what their experiences are and how they've been able to do it, because I think it's important that not only you hear from me, because, you might be like, oh, that guy's just trying to sell the program. But I want you to hear from clients who have been involved in working with us about what they've been able to do with their dissertations and how they've been able to get through. And so if that's you wanted to support, please feel free to click the link, apply to work with us. We have a great promotion till the end of the year that we are running as well. So if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and reach out to us, and you will be able to chat with Renee more about the program. And y'all, let's get these dissertations done. There's no need in 2024 that things are not done. And I just want to say thank you so much for just being a loyal audience, for sharing this with your friends, sharing this with your colleagues, for working with us. 2023 has been an amazing year for Done Dissertation. We are so proud of the folks who have come through our program. We're so proud of you all who have been following us on social media and been watching us. Our goal is to continue to build our presence online. And so the best way that you can help us to do that is to share this with 2 to 3 people in your network that you know that can provide value, and hit the like button on this post, but also hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, follow us on LinkedIn. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. We're looking to get over to 1,000 folks to be subscribed to our page, and you helping us to do that and spreading the word is the way we get this done, because we're nothing without you all as an audience. And I just want to say thank you so much from the company. I just want to say thank you so much to all the folks that we've been able to help earn their doctorate this year. And y'all, that's a wrap for 2023. The next time I will see you all on this live will be in 2024, but we will be at the same time, same place. And I look forward to supporting you all soon. And cheers to a Done Dissertation in 2024, and knowing that fear will not be the thing to hold us back. Take care and have a blessed, blessed New Year.